Is what is Buddha Shatwa?
Bodhisattva.
Sattva.
Bodhisattva. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's beautiful. Bodhisattva, we need to understand first what Bodhisattva is. You know, there are few words we need to understand. In Sanatana Dharma, we call it the concept of chakras, 7 chakras, we know. In Sufism, we call it 7 valleys. Same thing, but they call it a valley because it's very hard to come out of the valley. You have to put a really effort to come out of the valley. And Buddhism calls it 7 temples. A
Is what is Buddha Shatwa?
Bodhisattva.
Sattva.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's beautiful. Bodhisattva, we need to understand first what Bodhisattva is. You know, there are few words we need to understand. In Sanatana Dharma, we call it the concept of chakras, 7 chakras, we know. In Sufism, we call it 7 valleys. Same thing, but they call it a valley because it's very hard to come out of the valley. You have to put a really effort to come out of the valley. And Buddhism calls it 7 temples. A bodhisattva equivalent is like, a person who has mastered all the 7, but is neither the 7 and has a compassion to move up. So a person, you can look at a person and they will, if you look at them, their way they talk, the things they talk, you can know which place they are on the, which chakra they are on. Are they hungry? Are they in lust? Are they have compassion? Are they in love? Or they have a good vocal? Or they have a good insight, intuitions? We can feel it, right? So they are part of that. So samsara is like the when we go into from this body to the next body, that's the 7th chakra. That's where the new life starts. But a master, we call Ishwarya. Ishwarya means the person who's been blessed with the blessingness of the ecstasy of this consciousness. He moves up and down. He's neither stays in the 7th or he doesn't go in the 4th, which is love, or is in knowledge, or it is at hara. He can use it. He can become a mind to help you through the mind. He can become love through the heart. He can become tantra to help you to move up. He can give you an experience of the death from the hara. So he is not attached, or he or she, when I say, is not attached. They are free from this light. So they have a freedom. And bodhisattvas are the people who decides not to go, to leave. They want to stay back to help others. So there's a story like when Buddha got enlightened, all these angels and everybody wanted them to come. And he said, no, let others come first. So a bodhisattva is an enlightened master who should not be in this world, but he stays back to help others, to awake others. And this is the concept of guru in our Indian value system. Guru is like, he's there to assist and help us to move forward. The same name is used as a nabi or peer, or we use different words. But what happens is like they are not what we look at them. So if we look at a clicking of a clock, and if you put the clock pieces apart, you cannot find the click there. Click is by putting things together. Our ear hears, but ear doesn't really know how to hear. Somebody else is hearing inside. So they are enlightened with that voice of inner voice to help others, to compassionate others. And then question comes, who decides who is going to be Bodhisattva? They are Bodhisattva or not, right? Some people say, I'm a Bodhisattva. Of course, a Bodhisattva will say, I'm a Bodhisattva, because we are blind people. How are we going to do the litmus test? Who has the inner eyes? But with his actions, with his way of doing things, we understood that is a person who is taking us into the right path. So Bodhisattvas are always, gurus are always, peers are always here, because they reflect that image on us, help us to move forward.
Like basically when you say they decided not to leave the physical body to help humanity, but
Yes.
they're still living in human form, human body, but they are basically pure conscious. They're human, like they're acting from pure conscious, pure love, but they're still living normal life, like 5 sensory body.
Yes, they're living with a 5 sensory body, but they're not attached to anything.
Yes, because
If somebody comes with a mind question, they will cut them through the mind. If somebody comes with a love, mostly these masters are derived from the love part, because this is what lacks in our humanity. We keep talking love, love, love here and there, but we don't really understand what love is. And the love is the language of the consciousness, so it opens it. But if somebody doesn't understand that, he wants to understand the death, so he will go to Hara and explain from there. If he wants to go to Muladhara, he will explain from Tantra. If he comes up to Shastra, he will talk about with the Gyan, right? So it depends upon where the other person is. So this person has 7 stairs, 7 steps, and knows exactly where to come down and where to go up to help somebody. He doesn't say, I'm up there, I will not come down. He will come down to lift you up. So they have the ability to give an arm to bring it up. But one thing we have to understand, Bodhisattvas never remain forever, because their nature is so subtle, they are so pure, they can only retain to certain time, because that purity just sucks them after that one. So whenever we meet a master like this, it is our pleasure, it's our gratitude, we should take everything from them, because they speak the language of the consciousness.
Yeah, in their present, then we feel like
lifted up. Exactly.
And do they, sorry, you. Like when we say they still live in a human body, but they could be a formless or they could be in form, they do have a choice, because this is what I heard from my guru too. They could be a formless also.
Yeah, now we are going into esoteric, ma.
Okay.
So answer is yes, but people we don't talk about these things because they won't understand these concepts.
Yeah, because they're living on different awareness, then people kind of start making the stories like
all
those things, right?
Yeah, yes. Exactly. So what we do is we are like doctors.
Yes.
If they ask a question, we diagnose the problem, we give the answer. Okay. We don't tell them everything. We just, if a patient comes to a clinic, we just treat that patient. We don't tell, I went to MBBS and I've just, you need to say all those things. Because a compassionate mind just wants to work on that person, right? Just lift that person. And the person lifts up and then he goes into talk on the mind, the master cuts off.
Yeah. Because this is basically my mind talking now, I want to know more. This is mind game.
Yes.
But it's okay. I have a compassion for my mind also.
Okay, that's good. Very good. So thanks, Ma, for asking. Today we are doing Mahamudra. We have to understand what Mahamudra is. It comes from 2 words, Sanskrit word, Maha and Mudra. Maha means the great, the Mudra is the gesture. The greatest gesture is to live from an unconscious mind. So I don't have time, so I sent this email today. I have explanation on it. If you're not seeing it, you can go back and see more in detail.